So there are more involved, isn't it? Instead of just trying to push it and then do all these techniques. There are loads of techniques, I'm telling you. There are loads of techniques. But obviously, they can be very helpful and they can be very dangerous.
Techniques further demonstrate the complexity of this Chinese science of energy healing. Nevertheless, today in the West there are many establishments that offer monthly or even weekend courses of so-called Qigong study. They also claim that their training can turn people into Qigong healers within a short period of time. Yet the telltale signs are usually revealed by their own mixing with Chinese Qigong terms and Indian energy terms like chakra, prana, ajna, pranayama. Their ignorance of both Chinese and Indian energy works can only reveal their limitations in understanding Chinese Qigong healing. Surely if everyone can become a Qigong healer overnight, there would be no illnesses among the human race. Many energy workers who are not Qigong healers believe that they can simply close their eyes and imagine they can blank out the sick and negative energies of their patients. Well, that would be like someone opening a window and expecting the wind, the rain and insects not to enter the room. Obviously, such blind following is indeed very foolish and terribly wrong. Qigong healers have found that the only way to stop being ill afterwards is to be cleansed by either the powerful cosmic forces or more powerful Qigong healers. It is possible for anyone to set up rehearsed photo and filming sessions and claim that they can emit energy. However, the way to substantiate a claim is by observing the reactions of the third party to energy healing in public sessions. Only in this way can the genuine skills of an energy healer be demonstrated. In the year 2000, Shifu Shi Dilong demonstrates an extraordinary 10 meters long distant Qi energy emission in front of an audience of 1,500 in the Czech Republic. After capturing the energy field with a volunteer, he is able to pull or push their body weight backwards or forwards. This scene shows that when Shifu Shi Dilong captures the patient's energy field, he is able to manipulate the life force for healing purposes.
I've been a taxi driver for 8 years now. Since I started, I was having pains, stiff neck, just, general stiffness in the arms, spine, my posture was very bad, sciatica as well. Been doing Shaolin Qigong healing for a number of years now. I feel a whole lot better. I can just summon the energy to the point where I'm having problems, and it will just kind of give it a little hit and it clears it. From personal experience, I can say it's changed my life.
The first thing I got was through my work. When I was I'm on a dust. I was lifting heavy objects and I've sort of pulled my back. And I've got a sciatica now, and that's kind of like helping it out. It's like softening it up a bit, making it less painful. That's what Qigong does for me. It helps me out. It starts feeling relaxed all my muscles and that start loosening up.
I had arthritis for a really long time, since I was 17, and the first couple of times we did it I got into it fairly quickly, and afterwards we felt so kind of clear, and everything felt really sharp, and it was almost as if you'd had your brain washed out with soap and water and you walked outside feeling really, gosh, everything's clear again, you know, felt really healthy. Training, you're actually strengthening the internal ligaments, and that's been incredibly good for my joints, and I don't get arthritis at all anymore.
I've also suffered from a lot of back problems over the years, with a combination of injuries and sort of rheumatic, arthritic problems. It's difficult to sort of, I mean, those are more kind of subtle effects, and it's difficult to evaluate those, but the physical results have certainly been, you know, quite profound, really. I definitely felt some physical benefits, and I suspect some possibly kind of emotional and psychological changes and beneficial changes. Well, I've actually suffered a lot less pain, back pain. I had quite severe back pain prior to coming here, which sometimes was worse than others. But since doing Qigong, that does seem to have subsided quite a lot.
I had a sort of really badly sort of injured shoulder from playing rugby at school. And I mean, I'd given up virtually sort of all hope of having sort of my shoulder mobility back. I mean, my shoulder used to really sort of click, and you know, the strength, sort of former strength in the shoulder was gone, because it was a really chronic problem that had affected me for a few years. I tried it out, and after a while I felt sort of a real heat right inside my joint capsule. Now, I mean, you can't have that, you know, just by sort of touching someone. There must be something else involved, and you know, especially for something right inside the joint. And you know, after sort of doing more Qigong sessions, my shoulder, you know, sort of started to move more and more violently, and you know, as it went on, the mobility and the strength was just, you know, coming back to my shoulder. It was like sort of accelerated physiotherapy, if you like.
Following the treatment of his sports injury, Dr. Turin witnessed Shifu Shidilon's treatment of a multiple sclerosis patient who, after only 6 weeks, was able to run upstairs. Dr. Turin subsequently wrote an article about Shaolin Qigong healing. The article prompted an independent newspaper reporter to experience Shaolin Qigong healing for herself. She was so impressed that she wrote this newspaper article.
Why do I do Qigong? So I let the energy that I build up inside me work for me against my illness that I do have, which is multiple sclerosis. And every time I do come here, I always leave. I always run, actually, away. It sounds funny, but I do. Yeah. It's the energy that's cleaning me up inside. It's doing the after effect, like two sides, MS on one side and energy on the other side. The fighting. And the chi is winning. Slowly, sure. Yeah, it feels good. So when I come down, I said this before as well, 6-7 weeks ago, when I come downstairs here, it's not like running down. When I finish, I'm running up. There is something there. Yeah. Amazing.
Yes, I came for the Qigong healing before I'd actually cleared the hepatitis B virus, which I contracted at a clinic, and I found the healing very helpful, and I found that the exercises were commensurate with my capability to exercise, and it gave me a lot of confidence. I find that in the Qigong healing, my body exercises the areas that need exercising, so it's a little bit painful. It gently exercises the hips, so when my shoulders are a bit painful, it gently teases out the muscle shoulders. So I feel it's somehow equal, it meets my needs, it meets the needs of my body to exercise those areas that need relaxation and work on them.
Just make sure that, yeah. Right. These point. Just like this one.
Oh, it's on there.
That's on the arm.
Yeah.
See that?
Because you have blockages there.
Yeah.
You got any
Yeah.
blockages there.
Yeah, and this one as well.
On the
Sorry.
that's
that one is painful.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll come with time, you know, just working on it and stuff, you know.
Yeah. And I think, you know, it's,
you got, I mean, your legs are very warm and there's a lot of colour in them. There is a good sign, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, you feel better in yourself anyway, don't you? Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I mean,
After 8 weeks of intensive Shaolin Qigong healing with Shifu Shidilon, this motor neuron sufferer has regained some control over his motor neuron functions.
So give us a lot of time. Good. So you're happy with that? Record?
Yep.
No, don't use your hand. Push 1, 2, 3.
Seen here, he is now pushing his right leg at his own accord. At this point, Shifu Shidilon would like to say that although there are some improvements, there is still a long way to go before full recovery is achieved. Dr. Turin has been following this case with great interest.
Now, what you just saw, obviously, it just got 28 years of these films, and that was almost like 20, 30 years ago, okay, yeah? And what I can tell you that now, when you put your hands on, so there's a good English word called hands-on, because you actually put the hands on to your patients. It will be much better when you have emission of energy. You can see that. Now, multiple sclerosis, okay, yeah? And you can motor neuron. Now, like I said, I don't heal people. I repeat, I do not, or I did not heal those people. Is that people heal themselves, right? So it's how you trigger. Now, so there are many case studies just now, very small study, short clips. Okay, yeah, you can log on to our Facebook. There are more, 28 years of case study. You just have to find it. Okay, yeah, in the video library of the Facebook 8 Research International. Okay, so I just want people to know that the massage, you call it, is a very important tools in the internal Neidan energy work, because I can touch the patient, or you don't have to touch the patient. And there are also different techniques involved. But like I said, I cannot really teach you all the techniques, isn't it? You know, within an hour or so. So obviously it's you know, we have to understand that, you know, it is more than, you know, more things involved. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, market, please. Yeah, so